Be like that.
Yeah.
You gotta whisper. You gotta be like, went to Burger King and I got a Whopper. It was great.
You got the Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, that. No, we don't want that.
This is America. Don't you yell at me.
That's why your Whopper should have meat in it.
Hey guys, what's going on here? River Sullivan coming at you right here, right now. Pre-recorded for your live listening pleasure here for another episode of Season 3, Episode 2 of This Evening Tonight. And with me here, yet again, the man, the myth, the legendary legend amongst legends.
What'd it do?
You seem to be in a good mood today. Like, I don't know, is it the coffee?
Maybe.
Seem a little chipper.
Maybe it's just a cooler weather.
Did you get a piece of butt?
Yeah.
You got a piece of butt last night.
I mean, I don't discuss that. It's my personal life.
Hey, good for
Love
you.
you, hon.
The only thing I got is I got a bunch of caulk all over my hands.
Also a good night.
Yeah. It was a good morning, I guess. Yeah. It was meaning caulking, like, cause, from the caulking gun, because I just hung a new window.
Mighty fine window it is.
We are very proud of that window.
Master craftsman.
Yes. So that's one thing, too, that a lot of new homeowners, figure maybe we talk about that. New homeownership is a thing. And this month marks, by the time this episode comes out, will be 1 year that I've been in this house. And so I figure I'd like to share with you a few things that I've learned about homeownership, and then we can ask, we'll get your opinion
Bob
on
Vila episode. All right.
Yeah, the
let's
Bob
do
Vila
this.
episode. All right. So, when we first found this house, me and the old lady were like, hey, there ain't nothing we want to do to this house. It's perfect. This has got everything we want.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I just need to turn a third bedroom into a studio, which we did. And I was like, oh, man, this is great. And as time goes on, you realize that sometimes you get like, I don't know, is it like blinders when you buy a house? You just get so excited about buying the house that you just kind of freak out, or, like you're blinded to things that you should see.
I think we all do that. Like, I don't know what the actual term is, like that.
It's like the blinders.
You ignore things to make it what you have in your head. Like, you sell it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We've all done that. Anybody that's bought a house has done that, unless you're a millionaire. And even then, there's probably something you didn't like about it.
Yeah, like we have a friend I know that has like a $700,000 house and tells me about how his roof is concrete. Did you know that was the thing?
No, but I'd love
It was a
that.
concrete roof. He's like, you never have to worry about it. I said, thanks. Meanwhile, over here at the poor people.
See, that's my problem, is like, I have very little technical skill. Like, that was never my thing. And I get all these fancy ideas that I want to do that are, they're doable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're not reasonably priced, if you have some skill, which I don't. Like, I'd love to have solar panels. Yeah. Concrete roof.
Well, I mean, I knew nothing about hanging a window up until today.
Yeah, but you seem to be really adept at teaching yourself. Like, where I can't focus on something too long. So I get distracted, and plus, like, I get frustrated after a while, and then I just give up on it and call a contractor.
I don't ever want to call a contractor because I know what they charge.
I do too, but like,
I know the peace of mind, one, if they're insured and they screw up, it's on them and the insurance, so.
I mean, you do pay out of the nose for contractors if they're any kind of reputable contractor. But the thing is, like, my situation, like, when you have multiple jobs that require your time, and you always have something that you have to do, plus a family, like, you're just like, and with me, like, my expectations from when I first bought my first home to where I am now, of like what, like maintenance should be done, if drastically reduced.
Yeah, see, that's another thing I've learned too. When we moved in this place, I was like, This is it. I'm going to live here,
Yeah.
and they're going to find my bloated corpse in this house one day after I've died of just old age and, just good health. Just pass out naturally and never wake up. But then I learned, after everything that we do to this house and then careers, ultimately probably going to end up selling this house one day and moving.
Yeah, you never know.
But I guess the motivator in that, to one, improve your home to something that you want it to be to make it better, and two, to increase that resale value.
Right.
Because like I said, when we first moved in this house, I knew the things that had to happen was new roof, had to replace the furnace, had to replace the air conditioning, and that's coming. We're actually going to try to skate through another winter without the roof and leave the existing one on there. Mainly because of cost and also because we're saving up for a wedding. And yeah, the next thing that we're probably, the big one is going to be, other than the roof, will be the HVAC system, which we're going to try to get done here in a month or so. If we have to, we can go without it because we're coming into where it's going to be cold, which, by the way, Colorado is getting a blizzard already.
Nice.
They're getting 18 inches of snow.
Solar minimum.
Solar minimum, September 8th, date of recording. And yeah, blizzard already. I do not miss that part of the Northwest or just the western Rocky Mountains and all that, because when I was in Montana, that's almost to be expected. Blizzard, well, it's July, so that's just how it was over there.
It'll be our turn soon.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Another thing, as a homeowner, you realize you have to winterize your house. Didn't know that was a thing until I owned a home. And for me, encompassing winterization is, one, we made sure we had enough firewood. We got 6,000 pounds of red oak. Should last us at least definitely through this winter, even if it's a bad one. Retiled the entire inside of the wood burner. And also just found out I don't have to replace my chimney. I thought we were going to have to replace it because there was a little bit of rust and a tiny little hole on there, and it went, oh shit. Apparently I overreacted. I had my old man, he came over, my dad, he looked at it, he said, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Just repaint it, cover the rust. You can patch that, it's fine. I said, oh, okay. Thank God.
Well, if you got the dad seal of approval.
Yeah, that's all I needed. Hey, I mean, a contractor. Daddy told me it's good. That's all I needed.
That's good. That'll save you a lot of money.
Man, there's so many projects that keep popping up. Things that me and her talk about that we want to do, like the windows. Since this place was a double-wide trailer when it was first constructed to where it could pass now. Well, it passes now as a ranch home. It's labeled as a ranch home now because of all the extensive modifications done to it. Every window, though, because of it being a trailer, has those trailer-ass windows, the storm windows, one on the inside, one on the outside. Rip those off, and then to mount it in the old frame, they're custom. So that one window in the kitchen, we're replacing them one at a time. $172 for one window. And that was those are on the cheap. That was like a nice double, triple pane, but it was vinyl, and it's only single hung. The other windows that we have, we have a dining room window that's 3 feet wide.
Yeah, that's going to set you back.
That is a big ass window, and looking at it, it's going to be almost $300 just for that one window.
Just go crazy and get a bay window.
Well, the one with the nook.
Do it big.
I've always wanted one of them, so I can just lay on the little mat thing right there and read a book.
The question is she the queen of your double wide trailer? I've been thinking about that for the last 5 minutes.
That's her ringtone.
Old John Anderson, I think it was.
Yeah, hang on, let me. So I actually got her a T-shirt too that says "Queen of the Double Wide Trailer." I bought it in a 2X though, so it would fit me,
Nice.
just in case she said no, and then I'd still wear it. Yeah.
Yes. Still amazing.
Hello.
Why am I calling you?
I just wanted to prove to Scott that your ringtone was "Queen of the Double Wide."
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave this in the show just in case, but yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about it. We're talking about being homeowners and projects and stuff.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right, I'll see you after this.
Alright.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She sounds super thrilled about that.
Yeah.
There are times when I wish I could go back to live in an apartment, not cutting grass.
Yeah.
But I do like having my own piece of land.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny how like you're never really pleased with what you have. At least I haven't been. Like we started out like my first home was built in 1950. The walls were completely cinder block. And like you start out with all these like
Sturdy.
yeah, well, yeah, that's questionable. It probably could have been a nice house if you put a lot of money into it and knew what you were doing, but I had neither the time nor the money.
That's what gets me as a homeowner is everything that we want to do to it. We'd be like, man, we can do this. I know how to do this. I know how to hang windows. I know how to build the retaining wall that we want. But then you go, fuck, that's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just doing the windows is going to be like 10 grand after everything's said and done. And that's if we, do it one at a time and get something quality but budget friendly,
Not to mention the time. Like when you start like there's certain projects you have to do in like dry weather, warm weather. And then you're under the gun. You're like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done.
That's why I hit everything so early on my wood burner, because that thing saves us so much money, especially since I got all that firewood. All that red oak I got, that was from my parents' house for a tree that they chopped down, and we split it and, we cut it down, we split it and everything and delivered it using my brother's truck. I used to buy wood off people on Facebook. It was like $200 for a truckload or something like that. And you're like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. But then I get 6,000 pounds of like a hard wood, and I paid $47 because that was me feeding my nephews that helped load it and then putting gas in my brother's truck. In the wintertime, when we're running that thing, and that was with all the cracked, nasty fire brick inside of it, our power bill was like $60.
Nice.
Like right now, it's like 150, 160. And the old lady's freaking out over that. I'm like, actually, that's pretty low. Considering the fact that we're running the air conditioner almost nonstop.
Yeah, that's pretty average.
And especially when you have these junk ass windows that aren't holding any of the heat in. I'm hoping maybe our power bill goes down $2. I'd be like, it's because of that window right there. I did that. Because I used a whole shitload of caulk.
I mean, those fire burners are great. Like
I was throwing caulk in all sorts of crevices and cracks.
That's another thing I want to do is like the spray foam insulation. I've heard that's like really seals everything up good.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, it's wonderful. Because do you remember when we had an issue? Mice were in the house and they were getting into the office.
Oh yeah.
And it was because I have this storage cabinet right here that is bolted into the wall. It was part of the house. And above that, I don't know what the previous owners did, but there's drywall up there. They never sealed it, so it's just open. And then mice were crawling up through the vapor barrier and from under the house, under the foundation. And then they would climb up here and then run down the channel of this little channel I got here of the insulation for the sound insulation. And they dropped down, run over the floor, and they were eating my headphones, shitting on. I found mouse shit in my computer, in the tower.
How does that happen?
I don't know. But when we were building the pantry, I cleaned everything out and I pulled the hard drive out and pulled the air filtration system off the hard drive, and look, there were mouse turds in it. Like I was livid because if they'd gotten in there, they could have chewed up all the wires because they just chew everything. My headphones now have little bites out of them. So that's why we ended up getting a cat and everything like that. But anyway, back to your foam. So I went on the old Amazon and bought the great stuff foam, like the gun, but it was the massive crack edition is like expands 5 times more than regular foam. I dumped an entire can back in there.
Nice.
And it still didn't make it to the top. The only thing I'm worried about is because in between that space of the wall, right next to this office, is our guest bathroom. So when I rip the shower out and have to redo the water pipes, everything's probably going to be encased in great stuff foam because I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Not my finest work.
When we bought our house, and we've had it over 5 years, the current house, like it was the dream house for us. Not like perfect, but it was only 10 years old.
Not quite a fixer-upper, but,
No, like that was one of the big selling points is like, yeah, we're sacrificing the size of the yard. This place isn't going to have a basement, but yet it has a garage, which I didn't have before. But even now, like 10 years later, 5 years later, the 10-year-old home, Like there's still stuff I see every day, and I'm like, it just eats me up. I'm like, oh, wall needs painted.
Whoa.
I don't know. Edit that out.
Whoa.
That's stupid.
Whoa. Whoa! Hold the phone! We forgot to talk about the coffee.
I'm so scared and confused right now.
I'm sorry.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because we forgot to talk about the coffee.
Oh, let's talk.
I am so sorry.
Which I need some more. Did you bring the thing in?
I did not.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Pause.
Pause. Time out. So I am so sorry, guys. We've made it a while into the show and forgot our staple here. I don't know what's wrong with me here on season 3 that we're just forgetting coffee, which is a bread and butter staple here for me. And that just sounds a bread and butter staple. That sounds like something a hipster would eat. But anyway, so this week's coffee, guys, is another one from the Baja Coffee Company that I picked up back in Sandbridge Beach. This one, also, I am stupid because last week's coffee I said was their medium roast when it was not. And there was, even if you watched it on YouTube and listened to it on YouTube, we put up photos of the coffee and it blatantly says on the bag it was the bold roast. So please forgive us.
What a moron.
I know. But anyway, this week's coffee is the Waterman's Blend from Baja Coffee Company. It is their medium roast. And I'm positive it's medium roast because I'm looking at the bag right now. So what are your thoughts on this coffee?
My thoughts are I can't believe we forgot that. That is 90% of the reason I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good coffee.
I like it. It's
nice mid-range.
Yeah, it's not the best medium roast.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's quality coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of roasters out there, that are selling coffee, and
yeah, I mean, this one it's better than Folgers, it's better than a Dunkin' Donuts, but it's nowhere near the Neebs, nowhere near any of the bourbon coffee we've had.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
I know, still no news on that. I'm still waiting to see. But yeah, sorry. We will include links again in the description below for the coffee, you guys. So please, if you're ever down in the Sandbridge Beach area, definitely feel free to check them out. They actually have a pecan and coconut crusted shrimp that I had down there for dinner.
I don't even eat seafood, but that sounds like heaven.
Yeah, and they did it was like a cranberry chutney or whatever on top of it, like a drizzle, some kind of reduction. Oh, it was wonderful. But anyway, yeah, great coffee.
Yeah, I'm not being a hater. Like Thanks for that. Yeah, like I'm not being a hater. Like I love supporting local businesses, and whenever I get a chance, I'll always buy from a local roaster. But
because you like supporting small businesses,
correct.
Oh no.
But it's really even with the local companies, it's hard to stand out and be a really super good quality, such as Kentucky Nose. Just saying.
Yes, Tony Davis, you will always be missed here on the show. I was trying to get him on the show, right?
Yeah.
Because the old lady actually met him, and she doesn't drink coffee. But he talked to her for 2 hours and explained coffee to her in ways that she never understood. Like she had no idea how different coffee was supposed to be drunk or mixed or prepared or made a different way, to where we actually still have some of his coffee left.
She got woke.
But it's the creme brulee coffee. But it's only ground, per Tony, it was only ground for the auto drip. And then the bag that we got was ground just for the French press. Which, it's got chills from that coffee, remembering that it gave me chills when I drank it.
Yeah, I had some today. Somebody brought some in that was bourbon infused, and it just was not the same. Still good. I can't even remember the brand of it.
I mean, that flatboat wasn't bad that we had.
Yeah, it was all right. Like all these coffees that we're getting there, most of them are premium coffees. Just hard to stand out.
So the coffee that we are ultimately going to try here at some point is, and I'm looking at it right now, Café Granel Wild Kopi Luwak coffee.
I don't know what you just said, but I love it.
So Kopi Luwak coffee is one of the most unusual and expensive coffees in the world, sourced from plantations in Sumatra. Wild Asian palm civets roam freely in the highlands of Indonesia, selecting the choicest coffee cherries for their personal consumption. They They
'em
eat
out,
it,
right?
and then they poop them out. And then the beans are harvested from the poo. And then they're cleaned, I would hope. And then they're roasted. And it is apparently this fantastic cup of coffee. Right now, it's going for $120 for 3.5 ounces.
That's hard to justify drinking some poo coffee. I mean, I'm game.
I need it in my life.
Definitely have mixed feelings about it, but
I mean, we can get Kopi Luwak from Indonesia, Wild Palm coffee beans. We can get pack of beans, 1.76 ounces for $35.
isn't it supposed to be like hyper caffeinated? Stop.
It's not supposed to be hyper caffeinated, but it is supposed to be very, very good. Now, we can get a 3.5 ounce pack for $64 off the Amazon. So, yeah, probably not going to do the fancy poo coffee just yet.
How much was it?
It was like I was able to find the beans for 3.5 ounces for $64.
We could probably do it.
That would be enough for one out of the small French press. We couldn't do a whole pot, apparently, with that. We'd have to buy 2 of them.
I don't care. I'll send it.
Now, I am looking. There are things that because right now what we do on the show, guys, is for our coffee, it's just whatever we seem to come across. And we've had some I guess, fans of the show that have come to us and given us coffee and said, hey, you guys need to try this. You know, we'll talk about it. Okay. Or just in our travels, we find coffee that we think is interesting, and we always want to talk about it on the show. So right now, I looked. There's a thing on Amazon called Beanbox. It's a gourmet coffee sampler. And we can select single box, 3-month subscription, 6-month subscription, 12-month subscription. It might be something to explore because right now this right here, this Waterman's blend is the last that I have. And the rest is going back to like Kroger brand or some Folgers because I don't have any other coffees out here.
Word. I'd know.
Very astute, sir.
I'll try to pick up some next week. I don't know if I told you that. I'm going on vacation.
Where are you going?
Myrtle Beach.
Oh, you going to Myrtle?
Exactly where Big Jim doesn't want me to go.
Oh, no.
I mean, whatever. We've had it planned since January. I can't. We're enough money into it that's worth the risk.
I don't know, guys, but we're going to look into some more coffees here so we can find some stuff. Because I want to try some coffees that are out there, like that Koi Lupai or whatever the hell the damn thing was.
I'm with you. I'm game for anything. I'll support the cause.
Kopi Luwak.
My thing is, I'd really love to find some local coffee roasters. I know there's some out there. I just haven't found them yet.
Well, there's Ridgewood Roasters?
Ridge Roasters?
Ridge Roasters, something like that. A fellow by the name of Lemley owns it.
Yeah, I can never get him to email me back.
Yeah, you emailed him, I've emailed him. We've tried getting in contact with the guy, but
yeah, see, that's the thing. I'd love to get somebody in here that actually roasts coffee. That'd be amazing.
You know what we could do is we actually could talk to people from the Blue Moose Cafe. They're not too far away. That's Morgantown.
That'd be all right.
I've been going to that coffee shop, man. They do everything all locally sourced from what I understand. Everything is all organic. They're very, very hippified, but it might be good to have somebody like that on the show just to, help put their name out there a little bit more. And maybe they could bring us some coffee.
I mean, always a good idea. Yeah, that'd be all right. Yeah.
So what are you guys doing down in Myrtle?
Beach stuff. No, that's just where we traditionally have gone. It's a good family type beach, I think. Not necessarily down in downtown Myrtle. It's a little sketch, I think. No offense to anybody from Myrtle Beach, but you go to a little north there. There's some fun stuff. Nice hotels and whatnot. It's definitely not the place if you're looking to just go to the beach and that's all you care about and you really don't want a lot of tourists around. You're just trying to do your thing. You might want to go to where you went or to say Nag's Head, the Outer Banks. But they have things there other than the beach for my kids to do, so it's worth it.
You guys doing a beach house or a hotel or?
We always do a condo,
okay.
Which is just a nice hotel. We've got a different one this time. We've traditionally stayed at this one hotel and got a penthouse most of the years that we've gone, and we've been going for like 8 years. But we've got a bigger penthouse at a smaller hotel, which I'm told is nice. I haven't personally stayed at it, but the family has.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the beach.
How's the water at Myrtle compare? Like, because when I went to Sandbridge and Virginia Beach, it was like the Mon River. Like, it was just like river ocean, you know?
Like, you mean like brackish, green looking?
Yeah, yeah. Is it? Does it look more like?
Down there, it's pretty clear.
Is it like blue?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Very blue water. Not huge waves, but you know you're in the ocean. Atlantic Ocean tends to be cold, but I'm all right with it.
Because that's the kind of beach I ultimately want to end up on. I see in my old age retired on, like, I want tropical.
Like, what do you mean by tropical? Like hot or just like pure blue water?
Pure blue waters. Like, I'm talking like, Tahiti or Haiti or something. Or
the clearest ones I've ever seen, and I have been a lot of places.
Fiji.
Believe it or not, was the Pacific coast of Nicaragua. Very clear water. Like, it was beautiful. And they had inland lakes that were just inside the coastline that were sparkling. Big old volcano in the middle of it. Obambaku.
Nice.
Probably not saying that right.
I always wanted to go to the Dead Sea.
That'd be cool.
Because they said, like, I've seen pictures. The water's so super clear, but there's such a high salt content. Like, you just float atop of it. Like, you're so buoyant because of all the sodium in the water.
Like, just want to feel light.
Yeah, well, it's like everybody, like, you just like lay on top of the water almost like it's a mattress. Like, because all the salt in there, everybody just like.
I never knew that.
Yeah, they say it's like nothing lives in it because of all the salt. It's too salty for anything to live in it. So it's just these crystal clear blue waters that are just super salty, and you just float.
That'd be awesome. Never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the contrast to that is when I was down in Mississippi, the Gulf Coast. Like, I don't know if this is, a thing all the way through the Gulf Coast. Is like the water was very calm, of course, and like it was shallow. Like, it was like ankle deep for like a good 100 yards out, which is really weird. And it had this brown tinge to it, like not dirty. I think it was just maybe the sand or the Gulf or something. And the beach itself was very narrow compared to other beaches. And also, it is very humid down there, like super humid.
Yeah, see, I can adapt to humidity.
No, you can't. You think that till you get there. When you go outside at night and it's like 98 degrees with 100% humidity, you're like, it's nighttime. Stop.
I mean, I adapted from Sandbridge there when the power went out. I mean, you just use a sheet as a sweat soaker.
Now, where was that at? Like, was that Virginia?
Yeah, it's the southern portion of Virginia Beach, which is Sandbridge Beach, which is right before you hit the Carolinas.
Okay, so you say you adapted. Let's understand that this is the Carolinas. The humidity's not nearly as hot. Like, it still gets relatively cool at nighttime there. I assume there was a coastal breeze at night.
Yeah, kinda. You had to find the right spot on the house to sit at, and then it would blow.
When you went outside at nighttime, did your clothes stick to you?
No. If you sat really still and didn't expend any calories, you are all right.
Now, down there in Mississippi, like when I came out of the hotel room at night, like it would smack you in the face. Obviously not like Kuwait levels, but of humidity, but still, you knew where you were.
The only thing I didn't like down there was the sand fleas chewed me up.
Yeah, they do have that.
Like, I still have like a Band-Aid on my leg because it just chewed a hole in my in the bottom of my calf. Because you itch, like I itched it so bad that it bled, so it scabbed up. I'm like, oh, wow, that's fun. Okay, guys, so here's the plan. We're going to do something here we haven't done in quite a while. Ever since, really, I guess it was the beginning of season 2. We're going to play ourselves a round of AI Dungeon. And since we've last been on the AI Dungeon, they have had some updates. And it looks amazing. Apparently, there's multiplayer games. You can do multiplayer, which I have no idea how that works. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that right now. But in the spirit of some of the things we've been talking about, like home ownership, a lot of things, or one of the things that comes with home ownership is buying furniture.
Speaking of frustrating things.
Yeah, speaking of frustrating things, I found one on here that was called The Infinite IKEA. And we are going to give this a shot. So, Enter your character's name. We shall just be River. What is your profession, Scott?
I'm trying to think of something like just average down the road, like right middle of the road, like contractor.
What are you shopping for?
Furniture.
Generating story. You are River, a contractor shopping at IKEA. Once you retrieve your furniture, you realize you're lost. As you explore further, you suddenly see an employee walking down an aisle. But upon a closer look, you realize it isn't human. It's a chair. You freeze in your tracks. You decide to sneak around the chairs and keep exploring. But you're soon confronted by another one of those strange creatures. This one seems to be hovering above the ground, though. What do you do?
I have no idea. Like, run to the back of the store.
I run to the back of the store. You're trapped in IKEA with a store full of chairs and other furniture. You see a police car pull up to the entranceway. Suddenly, the car door flies open, and a woman with long blonde hair and smeared makeup stands in the doorway.
Why is it All right.
I yell for help. Help, you scream as the blonde woman bursts into flames. The woman is engulfed in flames. She screams while she is on fire. She emits a terrified scream as her face burns. She begins to smolder as the fire goes out. The woman stops screaming as the body burns. Good to see AI Dungeons just really improved.
All them updates paid off. Shoot. Do we have any kind of... Let's search for weapons. How about that?
I search for weapons. You notice a long pole in the corner. You grab it. You raise the long pole. You point the end of it at the burning woman. You feel nothing. The woman is dead. The blonde woman is dead. You are no closer to escape.
Search for clues. Oh, you got something better over there.
I just typed in, I search for clues. You notice the woman's long blonde hair is hanging in front of her face. You push her hair aside and realize the woman was holding a Bob's Burger King bag. You gaze into her dead eyes. They seem to be looking right through you. Sometime later, I'm just going to let it process. You check the bag. You find a golden armband with a Bob's Burger King logo. You put the armband on. Suddenly, you receive a notification. Your Dickies work pants are now the new height of fashion. You receive a notification. What's the next notification? You find a Bob's Burger King folder. You open the folder. You find some employee information and medical forms regarding the woman who died earlier. It appears that her name is Allison. She'd only worked at the store for a few months, but moved here from somewhere.
Wait a minute. Worked at the store? I thought she was a police officer.
She got out of... Hang on.
I say we hit process a couple times and see where it takes us.
Now, the police... She pulled up in a police car.
Okay.
And then came out and had long blonde hair and smeared makeup. You can't remember where. You grab a pen from the table. You write down a phone number. You take out your IKEA notepad and write down the information. You put the information in your pocket. You search the rest of the office. You find a Bob's Burger King uniform. You put it on. It's too small. You find a Bob's Burger King apron. You put it on. You find a knife with a very dull blade. It is covered in blood.
Can we go to Bob's Burger King?
Yeah, might as well. I think it's trying to tell us something. Gotta make sure I write it exactly how it's spelled. You walk through the IKEA parking lot. It's night now. There's some shadowy figures walking around. You see a man in a black hoodie. It's Ben. He has no face. You can see where his nose used to be. You hope he isn't following you.
So that was the key to escaping IKEA, was go to Bob's Burgers?
And then I pull out my gun. And then you pull out your gun, but Ben tackles you to the ground. His knees smash into your spine. He grabs your gun from your belt. He points the gun at you and grins. "See ya, sucker," he says. You stare at him in disbelief as he runs away. He's alone.
Cut his head off.
You grab a knife from the table. You go to Ben's corpse and stab him in the neck, even though he was not dead, but I guess now he is. You remove his head and place it on a table. There's a thud outside. Someone fell off the IKEA. You search the headless body. What happened to the floating chair? You search the headless body. You find a bag of coins under his clothing. You remove your mask. Your cheeks are wet. You wipe your eyes and shudder. Your tears taste metallic. This is just the beginning. It's night now. There are no more shadows, but something is lurking in the darkness.
We summon the Banana King.
You summon the Banana King. You look around for anything that looks like a weapon. There are a few kitchen chairs. There's a table with various items on it, including a box cutter and a lighter. You grab a small paperweight from the table. I feel like it just didn't do anything.
Yeah, just ignored totally our input. Head to Candy Mountain.
The table has a small indentation in the middle of it. It could be for a lighter or some sort of device. You grab the item and press down on it, but nothing happens. Suddenly, the lights turn on.
Are we still in the parking lot?
I don't know. It's bright. You look up. A tall figure is standing there. You drop the object as you stare at it. It's a Banana King. You did it! AI Dungeons, you smart son of a bitch! The creature has grotesque features. Its eyes are missing. It has a long tongue. There is a crown of bones on its head.
I'm sorry for startling you.
The king says.
You look a lot better in person.
It walks closer to you.
Ask him the way to Candy Mountain.
Are you all right?
The king asks. Yes, I'm fine, you say. The king walks around you.
Why are you here?
The king asks. I was trapped, you reply. You ask the location of Candy Mountain.
Why do you seek out Candy Mountain?
The king asks. I need to get there, you say. The king nods. He gestures to the item in your hand.
What did you think of my crown?
The king asks. It's a banana. The king nods. He looks at you.
What's your name?
The king asks. I don't know, you say. The king frowns and shakes his head.
What do you like to do?
The king asks.
Party.
You say I like to party. The king grins and nods. He flips through a book. He stops on a page with a picture of two people doing a conga line.
Do you remember these two?
The king asks. Yes, you reply. You look at the page. It's Frank and Claire. They're dressed up as Freddy and Jason. They're standing in a swamp. Claire is holding a knife out. She's wearing a corset and fishnets. Frank is scared looking.
Excellent,
the king says. The king flips through more pages. A picture of the two of you doing the limbo dance appears. There's a picture of Frank and Claire lip-syncing to a song on an old turntable. There's a picture of Frank holding a hammer as he's breaking through a wall. Don't get me wrong, the writing is actually much better than last time. There's a picture of Frank taking a bite out of a fallen foe's flesh. There's a picture of you riding a mechanical bull while holding a pint.
We had an excellent time.
Yeah. Closing the book, the king looks at you.
Why were you looking for Candy Mountain?
The king asks. I heard it had everything, you say. The king nods. He takes a deep breath and exhales slowly.
One day, you will have everything you want.
The king says.
I want it now.
Can we just cut his head off?
Yeah, sure. Always a good option.
I'm gonna regret this. I typed, I want it now. You say, I want it now. The king looks away from you. He looks out at the infinite IKEA.
I have everything I want.
The king says. The king turns and looks at you. His face and eyes are emotionless.
Do you remember your first kiss?
The king asks. Yeah, you say.
What was it like?
Your face feels hot. Your tongue feels swollen in your mouth. Your ears are ringing. It was gross, you say. The king nods. He exhales slowly and stands.
This is why I love AI Dungeon. It always goes there. Always.
He looks at the broken helicopter. He raises his rifle and fires.
Goodbye, Jacob.
The king says. The king turns and walks into the woods. You watch him leave. After a few minutes of standing still, you leave too. You walk back to your home. You sit on your couch and you rewatch Family Guy and American Dad. The end. We didn't get shit from IKEA. But we met the Banana King.
I thought we already had the furniture, like, from the very beginning.
We did, but did we? I don't know.
I thought we did.
Oh, we retrieved our furniture, but then we got lost with it.
But
No, but we made it. That was actually Pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Banana King's a perv.
The Banana King with a bone crown and a rifle, and
You remember your first kiss.
Farewell, Jacob.
Farewell, Jacob. That's not my name. Oh, that's great. I am so glad that AI Dungeon, you're still around. Man, there's a lot of them. They got so many featured scenarios on here now.
It's like Mad Libs for grown-ups.
Wow. Okay. And just the custom one that we used to do where you just pick your setting and everything like that. So they still have fantasy. They still have mystery, apocalyptic, zombies, and custom. But they added cyberpunk as well.
We need to do that zombie one.
Well, all right, guys. It looks like we're all out of time here for this episode of This Evening Tonight. I am your host, River Sullivan, and with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, the silver fox of sultry sippings of coffee, Scott.
We're out. Do you remember your first kiss?
All right, guys, don't forget all the other different ways here you can listen. iHeart Radio, Stitcher, Spotify, Sounder, Google Podcasts, and YouTube if you want a little bit of a ambient fireplace burning in your background while you're out there cleaning house or doing whatever, making dinner. Also, don't forget to check out the merchandising store at shop.spreadshirt.com/TET show. That's TETSHOW. Also, we will include again the links in the descriptions below for all the other ways to listen, all the coffees, all the merches. But okay, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. And until we see you here next time on the show, peace out.